Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy DJ Mad at me, the long time no see you or long time you don't hear from me. The point is that I'm here. I don't know if you guys know, but there's this genre called Guaracha, aka tribal music. But in Colombia, they call it Guaracha. It's actually Latin house tribal music, and it's taken the world by storm. So I have a project coming out. It's called the Guaracha Project on December 25th, 2019. And being the fact that I'm in this mode of creating tribal music, Latin house, aka Guaracha, I decided to do a tutorial as far as how I start working on this type of projects. Now, in this project right here, I'm actually collaborating with a friend of mine named DJ Fugger. He sent me an idea that he had, and it's very raw. So I'm gonna take you to me loading up the stems, which I already did, and how I go about as far as like getting ideas and the elements. So let's get into Cubase and this is what we gotta do. All right, guys. So here I am inside of Cubase, and I got this session right here. So I want you guys to check it out real quick. It's very simple, very like he just had this idea of this melody, which is not really nowhere. But I heard something which was towards the end that I kind of like, and I think I'm going to try to develop it. So check this out. And it sounds super loud because it's just beyond super loud. I have a very big screen, so I have to minimize the screen, like the real estate of what I'm working on. So let me just, here in Cubase, let me just turn off all these effects and sends so I can have a little more space to work on. And also let me bring down the gate so this thing doesn't close as fast as it's closing right now. Okay, so here we go. Effects, where are you? Right here, turn that off. And also these bad boys right here, let's turn these off. Now I can have a little more real estate. And what I'm going to do is I got the Q link up here, and I'm going to select all the tracks. This is my monitor track, which I could turn down the visual off. Okay, so I'm going to grab all my tracks, and I'm going to lower the volume on them. So okay, that's a little better. All right, now I can let you guys hear what he did. Okay, so like you can tell, it's all over the place. There's no balance going on. So the first thing that I got to do is try to balance what he got going on. And then after that, start dropping what I don't like and keeping what I like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mute all of the leads, like the trumpets and stuff like that. Before I do that, let me create some real estate here by getting rid of all these vocal tracks. Okay, so now I have all that, and I'm gonna color these so I can know that these are all leads. And after I color them, I'm gonna send them to their own bus, so it'll be easier for me to manipulate. I haven't done a tutorial in a long time, so I wanted to give you guys a little something new. Okay, now that I have that going on, I'm going to go to this folder, and I'm going to mute all of that so I could just only hear the drums. I have everything in a folder, which I'm going to fold them all. I'm going to fold these tracks too, so I can have a little more real estate. And let's see what we got going on. Okay. I'm looking for a loop where it has a little more information. Okay, that sounds a little better. Okay, so let's work on this part right here. So let's lower this. Ooh, that's super loud. Just a clap. Okay, so he got two bass leads over there, one low and one high in different channels, which is kind of cool because I'll be able to. I already know that I can open one wide and the other one could just be mono. That's really cool. Now let's look at the kick first. So let me open up this meter right here. Let's lower these things and let's get the kick right at 5. Okay, I want to work right there at 5, and then I'm gonna start blending in the first bass. Then the second one. Okay, automatically, I'm the kind of person that as I'm producing, I like to start mixing things so I can see if the elements are working or not. So in this case, automatically, let me just turn this red because bass and kicks are always red in my book. What is this right here? I don't know what that is, but let's just continue right here. So automatically on this, I know that I wanna open this up, the first one, the top one. So I'm gonna load up a mix delay. And I'm gonna open up the left side to 10 ms. Now I recommend for you to actually put headphones on so you can actually tell what I'm doing, which is opening up the first hit, which is that one, and then leaving the low one as a mono, which I'm gonna make sure is mono by adding a mono to stereo plugin. That is this bad boy right here. Let me close this mix delay. And mono to stereo, so I'm going to turn down the delay and I'm going to turn down the width. So now it's 100% mono. So now it got a little more quiet. Okay, that sounds good. And I'm going to make sure that these are being sent to the bass buzz right there. Okay, that sounds good. Let me turn this off so I can have a little more real estate. And I'm gonna turn off these tracks right here, the synths, and I'm gonna bring the bass up. I mean the bass bus. I'm gonna name it accordingly. Okay, now that is named. Now this kick, I gotta make sure that it's red because it's a kick. And I'm gonna send it to the kick buzz. It's right here. And I'm gonna look for that buzz and turn it on. And I'm gonna name it accordingly, kick buzz. Okay. So you see it right here. Let me turn off this plugin right here. Make sure I hit save because I'm already moving. And the first thing that I have right here, so I can measure my my levels. Okay, I always start this way, and I learned this by I forgot what was the name of the producer. I was watching a video on YouTube, and they were talking about how to make the bass sit perfectly. Although this kind of genre is not so much bass heavy compared to like tech house or EDM and stuff. I think it's more like in the EDM side, but a little bit less far as bass. But I always like to do this, which is I like to have the kick at 0, which right now is extremely loud. So I'm gonna bring it down to 0, which I want it to be right there. So okay, now I have it at 0, and then the bass I want it to be 5 to 7, between 5 and 7. So as of right now, I'm hitting kind of about in the right spot, which it could still go a little bit lower. looks just about right. So for mixing purposes, like now that I have the kick and the bass sitting as good as I can have it by wearing headphones, because I am wearing headphones right now, and I don't normally make the last judgment unless I test it in multiple speakers, which, by the way, I own the IK Multimedia iLoud, and they are amazing. So, but right now I'm doing it because of the sake of the tutorial or of the video. I'm doing it with headphones, which I trust the headphones that I'm wearing, which are the Monsters Gold headphones. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is, because I have two tracks over here, I don't want to add the same plugin on both of them. I'm just going to go to the bus, and this is why, bussing or summing your tracks is so important, because you can actually do stuff, when there's some, and you could treat both channels or multiple channels as one. So what I'm going to load up is a plugin called LFO by Xfer Records. LFO tool, by Xfer. They're the ones that make that plugin, what's the name? Serum, which I love, by the way. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make that space on the kick. So I'm going to load the same plugin on the kick just so I can see it, so I can get it perfect. So the kick, and I'm also going to use this plugin to shape the kick a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on the bass. So the bottom one is the bass. So I'm definitely going to bring this down. See that little information over here? I don't want that information there. That's just mud. So I'm gonna pull this back. So now it's a little cleaner. See, that's muddy. That's a bypass. And with it on. So now if I look at the kick directly on top, because I have them both lined up, I want the kick to finish, to be gone before that middle, before the bass starts. It's kind of like I'm doing the sidechain thing, but manually. And the reason why I'm doing it like this instead of doing sidechaining is because I don't want anything to bleed at all. And most importantly, I still want the bass to sound the same even when the kick is not on. I don't want that pumping effect. I just want everything to hit like right in your face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shape the kick right here. Click another cue point here. Ugh. Okay, I got it. Finally. So I always like to, if you own the LFO tool, don't ever go all the way towards the end, because it's going to create a click. So you want to give it like a little envelope, like a real tiny envelope, so it won't create that click, whatever. And automatically, I know that I'm going for a shape that is going to end before that middle point. So let's see how this sounds. Okay, so that, because of my experience of mixing, that to me sounds way better. I'm pretty sure that if any producers out there are watching this video, you guys are going to agree automatically, and you know exactly why I prefer to go with that spacious sound, because once you add all those elements on top, you're going to want that kick to sound clean like that. But again, that also could be subjective. You could actually be going for like a big progressive big kick sound, but in this case I need that space because I am going to add a bass lead and many other instruments, and not only that, I just want to shape it for now, and then later on I'll be able to get back to this, whether if I want for it to be a little longer or a little bit shorter. So this is why I like this plugin, because I can shape but I still have the actual sound unharmed, just in case I want to go back to it. So as of right now, to me, that sounds great. I'm going to load up, let me close these two bad boys right here. Everything is level where I want it to be. I'm going to load up a Pro Q3, which, by the way, it has to be, not it has to be, it is my favorite EQ in the planet of mixing and DAWs and stuff like that. It is my favorite EQ. If you don't have this, man, I definitely recommend it. It's the Pro Q3. It's just amazing. So automatically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the slope at 96 dBs. Some of you may say, oh, that's crazy, but trust me, this plugin does wonders. And automatically I'm gonna cut on 30 hertz. The reason why I'm cutting on a 30 hertz is because this type of music, you don't want that rumble low end. Although there is information that, some speakers could produce information all the way down to 24 hertz or even 20 hertz in the nightclubs, like those big ass subs. But at the end of the day, the type of genre that I'm working on right now, it doesn't require that. And I don't want that rumble. It's not like this is a hip hop record that is based on 808s with a very thin clap, hi-hat, and snare. So we're not doing that. I also want to take out some of that top end. Okay, that sounds just about right. And now we're going to introduce this clap, okay? Okay, so we're going to shape this clap real quick. The first thing that I'm noticing right now is that I honestly do not like that clap. The sample that he used, it doesn't sound like a good quality of a clap. It sounds very, I don't know, it's not good. But I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm just going to balance it. I'm going to leave it alone there just for the sake of the arrangement that he did, which I'm going to change completely. But I just want to, just get a vibe for now because I'm just mixing the elements that he gave me and then I'm going to start shaping everything out. So let's just leave that alone right there. Which, by the way, I changed the channel strip from post to pre because I want the inserts to be the last thing on the chain. And I want to open these up, which I'm going to load up a mix delay. And I'm going to open up the right side to 5. So this is after, this is before, and this is after. I'm just opening the mix up a little bit as we go. Yes, I could add some reverb to that clap so I can make it a little bigger, but I'm going to leave it dry as of now because the instrumentation later on, it may muddy it up. Right now, we're just doing balancing, not so much effects and stuff like that. Now let's go with this hi-hats. Automatically, to me, this hi-hat sounds more of a shaker than a hi-hat. It's kind of like a semi-open hi-hat, but not really. It's like a shaker, in between a shaker and a hi-hat. And then there's another element that he added later on that is actually a shaker. But I'm going to try to shape this too. So let's see what we could do. Automatically, a whole bunch of rumble, which we got to get rid of. Okay, so right there is turning into a hi-hat by me cutting all those frequencies, which is like almost at 6,000 K. Automatically, the second thing I want to do is I want to bring the EQ before the compressor on the channel strip. And I'm going to put a regular standard compressor, open the compressor up, and I want to compress this a little bit. That's good. I'm going to keep it on auto so it can do this thing by itself. I don't want the compression to be too crazy. So that's good as of now. What's the other thing that I need to add to this? Oh. And I want it to dance a bit, meaning I want it to dance around your ears. So if you're wearing headphones, this is what it sounds right now. Bring it up a little more. And then I'm gonna add this plugin by Waves, which I love. It's called the Brewer. I don't even know how to pronounce this freaking name of this plugin, but I know that it's Brewer Motion. I don't know, whatever. It's this bad boy right here, and I find that the actual, like, the first default preset that it comes with, it sounds amazing. Check it out. So that's with it, and this is without. It's right in the center. With it. Okay, so now we're getting a groove. We're getting a little something that that wasn't there before. Another thing that I'm going to add to this hi-hat is a pitch shift. Where is it at? Oh, frequency shifter. There you go. That's what it's called. And this plugin looks very, like, corny, you may add or say. However, it's a very, very powerful plugin to manipulate audio. And I want the hi-hat to do some not only do I want it to dance around from left to right in my headphones or in the speakers, but I also want the frequencies to shift so it could have more of a swing, like you hear what I'm talking about. So listen to it with and without. This first I'm going to play it without, and then you're going to hear it with it. So that frequency shift is adding a little swing to it, like it's humanizing it a little bit more. It doesn't sound so flat, so like robotic. Okay, that sounds cool. And the next thing is this crash that is like super loud. Super loud, which I'm gonna lower the actual region. Okay, that's much better right there. Wow, that was super beyond loud. So let's shape this up. Automatically just clean that up. Bring the compressor. Sounds much better. Let's bring in an LFO just to add a little sidechain groove. That sounds much better. So now let's bring it back into the mix. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, now let's look for a couple of more elements. A part where there's a little more stuff going on. there's a guiro going on there. So let's rename that. Guiro. So automatically when I hear that guiro, it sounds dull, it sounds flat, it's not ripping through the speaker, which when it comes to like Latin music, the guiro has to like, it just has to sound a certain way, and it's not cutting through. It's definitely missing information over here, but we're still gonna try to bring it out. Okay, so this definitely has to open up. And we're gonna bring in the mix delay as well. Now don't think that I add a mix delay on everything. I just know that certain things ask for mix delay, and then once I have everything as a whole all put together, then I make decisions as far as, you know, whether I wanna, like, if you know, if I have too much, if like the track's too spread, then I start taking off, you know, depending on the mix. So I'm gonna go for the left side and do 10 on this one. That sounds pretty good. I still feel like it's missing something, so I'm gonna try the Decapitator by Sound Toys. Let's see what we can pull up with this with the Decapitator. So let's start with some drums. Let's just go through the presets. Now you hear that dirtiness that is given right there. You know, that's kind of like what I was looking for. I like the way this sounds. I'm gonna bypass this, and I'm gonna try Waves. Just came out with these distortion plugins. This one called Berserk. I want to try it out, see what this sounds like. I'm just gonna go through the presets because I never used this before, so I'm just gonna try it out and see what it sounds like. Okay. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, let's look for something else. They actually have this MDMX plugin. Let's try these out. Kind of like how that sounds, but let's compare that one to this one. They do say that it has to be kind of like hitting yellowish, so it could work the best. Bring down this down. Sounds very similar to the decapitator. I'm gonna leave the decapitator. Get rid of that waves. We'll try it for something else. Okay, so now let's blend this in. The good thing about those two sounds is that they're not crashing with each other. However, I am going to add a LFO on the guiros just so it can add that bounce, because it's a little bit offbeat, but I kind of like the offbeatness. And once I add the LFO, it's going to put it kind of into pocket. And you can see it right here on the wave that is off beat, off the grid. You know, it's not quantized correctly, but I liked it. I like it because it adds a groove. So I'm gonna leave it as is. Okay. Okay, let's look for something else. Okay, so there's an effect there. Automatically, I know that we need to add a LFO to that, or sidechain or whatever. So I'm just gonna copy this one and I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna do a hard envelope on this one. Definitely gotta do some shaping as far as EQ. That sounds neat. Okay, let's look for something. Okay, I don't know what this is right here, so let's go to it. Okay, something different. Okay, I don't know why he put two different kicks. That makes no sense to me. So I'm just gonna duplicate the kick that I was working with, because I kind of like it. This one I do not like. So let's take that out. And now we have a new track here that we got to mix in. Oh no, it's the same thing, is it? Okay, I'm a little confused here. Okay, so he got two guiros. Guido 2, which I kind of like the way this one sounds better than the one that he got up there. So I think I might just replace it. You don't need two, I'll tell you that right now. This is the first thing that I do when I'm collaborating with somebody. When they send me stuff, I do housekeeping, and let's just start fixing things towards my liking. This is a good idea that he has over here, but I just heard something, and I'm the kind of person that when I hear like ideas, I'm like, just give it to me like that, because I already know what I'm gonna do, and it's not that I actually know what I'm gonna do. It's more like a vibe. Like, okay, I hear the track has a good groove. I could definitely pull this off. So that's really what happens. So I'm gonna loop this part right here. So I'm gonna take off the old guiro, the one that I was working on. I'm gonna mute that for now, because I like the new one. See, that sounds more real. I love that. Let's add that mix delay. I like that right there. Oh, I like that. So now let's add the decapitator. Ooh, yeah. Like the puppet says, that's some good sauce right there. And then I'm gonna add the LFO. Okay, so the one thing that I'm hearing is on this this kind of a open hi-hat. Now I want to add some reverb on it because I want it to dance a little better. So I'm going to use the Fat Filter Pro R, and let's play with that reverb real quick. So now we got some more depth. It's like it sounds more blend in. It's not so flat, because I am going to add another hi-hat that's going to be mono. This is gonna go on 1/4 on the beat with the kick. So that's why I don't care too much as far as like opening up all the hi-hats and the guidos that he got going on right now, because I know I'm gonna open this up the way I'm gonna seal it right in the dead center with the hi-hat that's missing. So this guido right here gotta go. I don't like that one. So decision, and that is remove. So that's gone right there. Okay, what is the crash? Okay, I already got that in there. What other elements do we got here? What is that right there? Oh, that's that kick. I know for a fact that I don't like that kick, so I'm gonna remove it. That's removed right there. And what else do I have here? This fill. Okay, so let's try to get that fill in there. Okay. Okay, so let's clean it up. should go from left to right, like left, right, left, something like that. So let's try to add an auto pan. My favorite auto pan right now is from Melda Productions. It's called the M Auto Pan, but unfortunately, the new update that they did, like the UI in Cubase, they don't play. They don't play nice. It works on Logic. It works on Ableton Live, but it's not working on Cubase. I don't know why the GUI is not working on Cubase. So I'm going to use the stock one, which is still really good. I just don't like the volume dip that it does when you put it on. Like they definitely need to fix that. A little faster. So let's do a sync. Let's do a 1/4. Too fast. 1.5. That sounds better. Now let's bring some power to it. Okay, that sounds good. So now I'm going to compress it. And for that, I'm going to use the Waves API. I'm going to use this preset called the Drew Levine. I like it. And what I'm doing, I'm going to go to the GR and I'm going to adjust this ratio and put it on 4, ratio and put it on 3, and let's see where we at. Okay. Then I can pull back on the threshold. I like the way it's sounding. Sounds pretty good. I like it. Let me bring it up a little bit. Okay. So far so good. What else do we have? There needs to be mixed in. Okay, so as far as the drums go, I think they would pretty much have a decent balance. Okay, there's something over here. I know that the guiro, most likely I'm gonna have it throughout most of the tracks. So let me just extend it over here. And let me just loop this part right here so I can mix that part. Okay, so we have a riser here, which most likely I'm going to replace those. Where's it at? Rise up. Let's shape this thing. Automatically, this is gonna go like this. Let's go back over here and fix that drop. Okay. Let's loop that like that so we can have a space. Of course, LFO automatically. Okay, so we have that, and then there's a hit that comes in. Shape that too. Doesn't sound good because it goes. There's a pre-roll on that hit that takes away from the impact, which you'll be able to see right there. See that this space right here? So we need to get rid of that. Where's the? Come on, what's going on? There you go. So now that we got rid of that, it's gonna sound. See, that sounds much better. And then I want to make a little space right here so the impact come a little better. Bring it back in a little more. Just a tiny bit of a silence before it drops. See? Now that hit has a little more oomph, like more impact, more. It just hits better. Let's see what else. So I'm guessing that right here there should be kind of like a drop going on, melodic wise, music wise or something like that. So let's hide the effects. Let's hide the perks and the bass, and let's just open up the synths. See what's going on here. I know this is gonna sound like a mess, but yep, it sounds like a mess. Let's bring these things up. Okay, so let's figure this thing out now. Okay, so I don't want to see the effects, I don't want to see the perks, I don't want to see the kicks, I want to see the synth. There you go. Okay, what in the world is going on here? It's like 1,000. Good. It's kind of like a lower tone. Let's bring that down. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. It's just not on beat correctly. Okay, that sounds weird. That doesn't sound good. Okay, I get it. So this is like the effects, ones with the effects, and this is the dry one. So I want to go with the dry ones better because I'll be able to manipulate it a little better. So it's more like a trombone or something. Or a saxophone or something. I guess it's a sax. So these are with the effects and these are without. So I don't particularly like this, and I understand why he added this layer because he wanted to make it thicker. But in reality, you kind of needed that, but not really, because the thing is that it's underproduced. So of course it's going to sound thin. Let's try to get something going over here. Okay, let's shape. Super dirty automatically. Let me just get rid of that bottom. Okay, the next thing that I want to try with this is some saturation. MDMX. Let's try these MDMX plugins by Waves. Let's try the Screamer. Never used this plugin before. This is brand new from Waves. They want to add some distortion line or whatever. So I'm just gonna go to the presets and see if we find something. What a difference! What a difference from the original to this right here. I mean, it changed the color completely. It gives it a different character. However, I feel that it sounds so much better. Let's wait. Without. Okay. I'm gonna bypass this real quick because I like the way that sounds. I'm gonna bypass that, and I'm gonna add Serum to add some OTT compression. See how that plays. So compression, OTT, without. Okay. So let's compare it from the DMX to the Syndrome. Serum. Here you go. I like the Serum better. So out of there. Now that I have that, I am gonna add a fat filter C2, so I can add some sidechain. If you're new to Cubase, we never done sidechain in Cubase, which I'm pretty sure there's 1,000 tutorials about that, which I have a few. The way you do sidechain, it's you press this little button right here. All the plugins, they have that. I mean, plugins that support sidechain, and then you hit this menu. And then you got to hit this other menu to select the input, which it should just simply be that you click on this and you automatically see the list of the of your options. You shouldn't have to click that to open up a pop-up window to click another one to open up another pop-up window. I think that's overkill right there. But regardless of what, it still works. And then you can either type or you can just search. In this case, I'm choosing the kick buzz. Now that it's there, turn it off, and then in the fat filter Pro C2, you have to click sidechain and then turn on the external instead of the internal. And this is the EQ, which I'm not going to touch that. And then that's it. Then you just adjust the threshold and attack and stuff like that. Attack, I'm on a 0. Okay, so I am definitely looking for that bounce. Automatically, I know that I have to add some reverb to this so it could dance a little bit, and it definitely needs another sound, and absolutely it needs more percussion. So for that, I'm gonna use my good friend from Exponential Audio. This is a really cool reverb that kind of comes with a built-in sidechain on its own. Let me bring back the reverb. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the reverb and I'm gonna put another compressor, because when the sidechaining of the kick goes away, it comes up a little bit too loud. I know that I could fix that in the actual sidechain of the compressor, but I want to add another one because I still want that pumping effect where it's at. So I'm gonna make this a buzz style. Yeah, I like that. So now I'll be able to pull back a little more. Yeah, I like that. So notice I'm using two compressors, one for sidechaining and the one right after. It's kind of eliminating the bumping effect a little bit, but it's also I don't know, I just like the way it sounds. Don't ask me to explain it 1000% how it's happening or whatever. I'm curious to see how much time. All right, so we're gonna stop it right here because the tutorial's gone far enough for one session. It's an hour, and I think that most of you probably gonna skip a couple of stuff. But if you got to the video this long, I'm pretty sure that you caught some things that you wouldn't have got caught if you would like press fast forward and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep on going with this series. I'm gonna finish the track, and I'm gonna record every session that I do, so you guys can learn as much as you can, or hopefully I'll be able to do some stuff that you guys will be able to pick up and learn when it comes to plugins and how to go about the mixing process and so on and so on. Remember that on December 25th, that's Christmas date, I will be releasing my project, which is called the Guaracha project. I hope you guys can show us some love. It's going to be on all the social media. And of course, if you like, you can hit the like button. You can leave some comments, ask some questions. And follow me on social media. So I'm going to leave it right here. And of course, check out my website. Yo soy DJ Matt. Thank you so much for watching. I extremely appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video because more are coming.